I know, I know. Mr. Golden Gate, I should wait, but I can't wait. I can't wait to get it straight. I was shaking, but now I'm making it fine. Ooh, in my mind. Good morning, Golden Gate. Good morning, Cheerios. Wake up, little Oreos. Did I tell you everything is fine? Loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. And I want to spend my life with you. Oh, baby, we ought to stay together, loving you weather forever. The times are good or bad or happy.
Good evening, Camp Curtis. We're here to support the veterans in honor of the House of Restoration. Camp Curtis, we just provided the bounce houses for the kids, petting zoo, and coming from San Diego. So we appreciate the vets and just want to give our salute to them.
I'm Evan Planto, Commander of American Legion Post 291. The mission of the American Legion is to support veterans. And the way we do that is to provide them a great place to come here at our post, and also through funding of individual veterans and veteran organizations. We were very fortunate last year to fund over $500,000 to veterans and veteran organizations. We have programs for Boy Scouts, and also we have American Legion Baseball. We also have Girls and Boys State, which is a program where juniors in high school have an opportunity to go to, in our case, Sacramento, for a week program to learn about what it's like to have politics and to run everything from starting with a city up to the actual state. And they select 2 people to be the senators of the state, and those go to Boys and Girl Nation in Washington, D.C., and the senators of the state. And then from that, they pick a president and vice president. And we've been fortunate enough to, in the last 5 years, to have a president, actually 2 presidents selected from our post. So we're very happy here. We're blessed to have such a great venue. We are the 2nd largest American Legion in the country out of 12,000. I don't know why, but as you can see, we do a lot of things here at the post. Matter of fact, if you hear the music in the background, tonight is jazz night. We do live jazz on our patio on Thursdays. Friday night we do dinner dance in our hall, and then on Saturday and Sunday we have bands performing outside with karaoke on Sunday night. Also, I can't forget to tell you about the Hootenanny, and that's on Tuesdays, where we have local musicians perform, and then that's followed up by Taco Tuesday. So lots of things here at the post. Also, we are the only American Legion post that has a yacht club, and being on the water, that's really nice. I've been commander here for 3 years, and I remember initially the yacht club was a strong organization, but through the years now, they've developed their dive club. They go to Fiji every year, so if you're a scuba diver, this is the place to be. Plus, they have a Duffy boat and a 20-foot sailboat. So if you get certified to operate either of those as a member of the yacht club, you can take them out for free. It's not a bad deal. So please come on down to American Legion Post 291 here in Newport Beach. We'd love to have you.
Now, Evan, one of the things that I know you can definitely relate to and understand as a veteran, the sense of community and togetherness amongst other veterans. That seems to be one of the things that makes this Legion so special. What is the reception from veterans that come here? Maybe it's their first time coming here. Maybe they've heard about it on the other side of the country, and they came here, and what has been the reception that you've received from them?
Well, I have to say, we are very blessed to have such a wonderful venue here, being on the water. We are, like I mentioned, the second largest post in the country. We have about 2,600 Vietnam veterans. I believe it's 260 Korea War veterans, and we have 40 World War II veterans. We also have several, the rest, I should say, of our 4,200 members are post-Vietnam. And it's so interesting to have the different people from different war times able to talk to each other and see what it was like. Because Vietnam was a lot different than Iraq and Afghanistan, and Korea was different than World War II, closer to World War I. And then the few World War II veterans that we have now, it's wonderful to speak to them. We have a World War II Korean War veteran luncheon every year, and 3 years ago at my first one, we had 36 World War II veterans. It was a great event. And then the next year we had about 22, and the last year we had 14. So we're losing those great American heroes. And the thing is, this is a place for veterans to come. They can feel welcome. They can feel that they are part of this, and just enjoy themselves. They don't have to worry about people thinking who they are and what they've done. They're all accepted here, and we're just happy to be here.
And earlier today, there was a luncheon where it was presidential award presentation, which you were a part of.
Yes.
Tell us how you were a part of this.
Well, today I received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award for my volunteer work. Not only here at the Post, but when I was in Washington, I did a lot of work with the USO. Did a lot of work at Walter Reed, mainly dealing cards for the wounded warriors. That was a lot of fun. I even got my daughter involved. And when I was in Iraq, my wife ran a program called Girls Time Out, because the wives had things that they needed to learn about. What were the programs and benefits available to them? So they would get together and talk, and then my wife would help them out. She had some deal with some cake company, and they go out and get these really big cakes that were donated, and the women just loved it. You know, these were the wives and the mothers, spouses, and sisters, and it was just something to help out, because the recovery time for a lot of these wounded warriors could be years, and it's just moving your family there to take care of your loved one and the children and all that. It was so stressful. It was nice for them to have something they could do. So I guess even my daughter dealt cards for the wounded warriors. So we were kind of a veteran volunteer family.
And in that aspect, as we talk about this event, the Women's Veterans event, and you're a veteran, and you've seen women in the military, what is something that you've seen that shows their resilience of not only being in the military, but also being a mother, being a grandmother, being a sister, and still
Well,
being in the military?
that's a question that I know a lot about, because I'm married to a veteran. And I met my wife in the Army. She served for 4 years. And it was a pretty good tour for her, but being a woman in the Army, being a woman in the military does sometimes have its issues, I'll just say. So I know that that's something that American leadership and the Department of Defense is looking at and doing what they can to ensure that everyone is treated fairly and equally in the military. But we have about 200 female veterans here. I know that's a smaller amount, but we're having an event here tonight for women veterans, and we try to honor our women veterans for the services they provide and the things that they do for the military, because they serve just like all the men did.
And where can people find out more about this Legion Post?
Well, our website is al291.com. Again, that's al291.com. And when you go to that site, not only will you find out about the American Legion, but we are a family here. We have Sons of the American Legion, we have the Auxiliary of the American Legion, and the Yacht Club. So sons are grandsons and sons of veterans, and the Auxiliary are mothers and spouses and daughters and granddaughters of veterans. So everyone gets to participate, and it's really a great organization. Of course, I can't leave out the Yacht Club. They have several boats, they do several events, and they take out all the members of the family. So we're one big happy family.
Hi, everybody. Dr. Sherry Lynn Sotelo here, founder and CEO of the Face of Illness Co-op. Thank you for today. So happy to be here and talk about Operation Impact and our Veterans event.
Yes, so we have Operation Impact here in Newport, California, the Women's Veterans Event, and we're celebrating all the women that are veterans, their sacrifices, their hard work, and the difference that they've made in this country in ensuring and retaining our freedom as citizens of the United States of America. How important is it for you to be a part of this event?
It has been a mission of mine for the last 25 years, being the family member of veterans, Marines, and Army, to give back to my community and my fellow women to say, hey, I'm here to support you. I'm here to help be everything that you need in your life, even when you're not here, through deployments, through boot camps, through reintegration back into civilian life, becoming a mom, becoming a grandma, going back into society and reintegrating every which way we can. Everybody needs to be heard, acknowledged, appreciated, and adored, and that's what I'm here to do today.
Now, with you having family members that have been veterans, you've seen both sides of it. You've seen firsthand how a family member that's in the military, how they interact with them, and how they may have to leave, how they may have to come back. And what is something that you've seen that helps you understand the resilience of veterans?
Well, my brother, being a Marine himself, actually taught me a whole lot about having an older family member in the Marines. You come back and you get that discipline all over again. And sometimes they don't talk. I have a long history of Vietnam vets in the family as well. My grandfather was also in Korea. Coming back and seeing that loss of communication or that sense of shame for some of the things that have happened over the years is what actually drove me to clinical psychology as a field and my very first intern placement with U.S. Vets in Las Vegas. The U.S. Veterans Initiative allowed me to work directly hand in hand with our combat veterans, our Vietnam, our World War II, our OIF and OEF veterans for their mental health needs. So it's been a lovely way to give back and take my life and childhood experience and give it back to those that need to be heard the most.
Selected individuals. Could you tell us about that event and the individuals that were recognized?
So that is actually one of my favorite events that I do as a volunteer. I am a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award credentialing agent for the White House. This is something that began in 2003, whereby we as civilians now can go through and honor those that have committed at least 4,000 hours worth of community service, both here and abroad, to make life better for every citizen of the United States. All three individuals served anywhere from 20 to 40 years in their community, giving back both here and abroad, including in the entertainment industry, which was great because it actually gave a preview and insight through a docuseries to help veterans serve veterans by way of a story that actually presented here right at this American Legion Post 291.
That's great. It's all about recognition and people feeling appreciated for the things they've done, the sacrifices they've made, and being able to continue to move forth and make an impact as play on Operation Impact. This event this evening, we are having a lot of vendors that are here, and they'll be supplying different things in celebration of the women that are veterans. What are some of the things that are going to be dispersed and some of the vendors that are here today?
So the main priority for tonight was to allow women to feel beautiful all over again. They no longer have to live in that autonomous world that the military made them go under. We have face masks, we have under eye masks, we have fancy lotions, body washes, beauty products to allow a woman to be that woman all over again. So these kind donations came from different members from the community as well as the commissary. But in addition to that, vendors came out from all walks. I have Battalion 22 here, I have the Vet Rec Center here, I have From my very own past experience and internship, U.S. Vets are here, the Women on Point, as well as She Is Worthy, which is another nonprofit woman-focused organization that has diapers, has shoes, books for the kids. There's so many different ideas that are meant to allow us to see what our beautiful women can do as mothers and as individuals by way of just giving back to one another, one piece at a time.
And with this being an annual event, what is the one thing that touches you each year that you're a part of this?
Watching the kids grow, seeing them year after year, and every time they're a little bit bigger and I get the Miss Sherry, hey, how are you? There's nothing like a hug that comes back.
And how can people support? How can they connect with you, connect with the organization, and be a part?
So if you go to operationimpacttour.org, you could read all about the organization and also have any level of donation and or sponsorship for this event or future events all over the country. We are coast to coast and always on the move, making an impact everywhere.
Hello, my name is Rocio Palmero. I am a 14-year Navy veteran and the program coordinator for Women Vets on Point with U.S. Vets. Today, we are here at the American Legion Post in Newport Beach to try to talk and encourage other veteran women to come out and access some of the available resources that exist. Women make up only about 14 to 12% of all veterans, and we are only 2% of all women. And so it is really easy to overlook us. It is really hard to lean into our veteran status when everyone expects somebody to look a certain way when you say the word veteran. But honestly, this is what a veteran looks like. And so I am proud to be the program coordinator for this, one of the few resources for veteran women. I am proud to be an American Legionnaire, and most of all, I'm proud to be an American.
So with your organization and also with you being a veteran, as you stated, people have eyes of what they think is supposed to be or what a veteran is. But it's different when there's women that are veterans that are also wives, mothers, sisters, grandmothers, you name it. From your perspective, what are the intricacies that make a woman that's a veteran make her the person that she is?
That is a great question. So the first thing I'm going to say is that when we look at women's rights issues are human rights issues because, as you've stated, we are the mothers, we are the givers of life, we are the nurturers. And it doesn't always look the same. Sometimes it looks a little bit different, but for the most part, we take on multiple roles. We wear multiple hats. And so the importance is not to say how long did you serve. The important thing is the fact that we did serve, and we served while having all these other titles, having all these other responsibilities, and having all these expectations. Because in a movie recently, one of the actors stated, you're not supposed to complain. You're supposed to be a mother and supposed to have children, but you're not supposed to be selfish. You're supposed to be okay with your weight, but yet you can't complain about your weight. And so there's all these unfair expectations that are put on us, but yet we continue to carry the load. We carry the load for our families. We carry the load at work. We carry the load when we take on all these volunteer opportunities and these titles, but yet one title that never changes, is the fact that we are veterans. When you are no longer a plumber, you stop being a plumber. When you're no longer a bartender, you stop being a bartender, but you never ever stop being a veteran. And so that's one of those identities that are carried with us. So we carry that internally while carrying on all these other responsibilities and all these other titles externally.
So with your organization, Women's Vets on Point, can you tell us more about that?
Sure. In 2017, there was a report that came out about veteran women's suicide and the spike in veteran women's suicide. And so part of the reason might be because we had more women coming back from the Gulf. We had more women being represented in Operation Enduring Freedom, or the fact that it was just you were asking the right questions and the right people were being asked. But because of the spike, our CEO saw the need to have a woman veterans program. And so in 2018, our program started, and we were able to start providing referral services for veteran women. We were able to provide supportive mental health services. And so we've grown now to a staff of 4 in this program. We have our case manager, who is an Army veteran, and she is also the first line of defense, the first contact that many people have when reaching out. We have our therapist who's also an Army veteran, and she is able to help with not just providing supportive services for a veteran woman, but making sure that, if she needs therapy with their partner or therapy with their children, that she's also able to be there because she's also a spouse, so she understands things on a very different level. And I do a lot of the outreach for our program. I go out, we have amazing events that allow veteran women to come in and be able to have conversations and connect with other veteran women in a safe space where we're able to just let down our guard and just be ourselves and be the people who we've had to sometimes hide away because of societal expectations. And often we have interns. We currently have an intern who is a Navy veteran, and she helps facilitate so many of our groups, and she helps to connect veterans also with other powerful services. And with her MSW background, she's able to really listen and be able to give the proper referrals to those veterans.
So where can people connect with you in the organization to find out more? Also support and be a part of everything that you all are doing.
So we are, again, Women Vets on Point, and we're part of US Vets. We have our own page, womenvetsonpoint.org. And so you can find more information about our programs there, as well as a live chat between 8 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can actually get a live person Monday through Friday.
Hi, my name is Shayna England. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I served 4 years on the USS Ronald Reagan.
Today we're here in Newport, California, in the American Legion Post 291 for the Women Veterans. You're a veteran, you're a woman.
Yes.
Obviously. One of the most important things that I think for a woman veteran is balance. Balance of, okay, you're serving, but also outside of that, your mother, your daughter, your everything. Can you speak about your experience and the experience of other women that you know that have served in the military that have to balance that life?
Sure. So serving as a woman in the military, I say is definitely a different experience. As you said, I am a woman, and especially being on a ship, we need different accommodations. We have lady time. Is that appropriate? Okay. We have lady time, and we have a thing called a ship store, and sometimes they run out of stock, and we have to bring extras on the ship when we're out to sea. And during our lady time, when we're on the ship, we don't get to have a break, and during that time, we can get very tired, we can be in pain. That is not a factor on the ship. So being a woman veteran and serving, also just being away from your family, from your friends, emotionally takes a toll on you.
We also have a portion where we're supplying a lot of the needs of veterans, their families. Can you tell us about things that you all are doing to supply the veterans and their families?
Yeah, sure. So this event is specifically geared towards women veterans. We invited women veterans through word of mouth, through social media. We have many different organizations here that are geared towards women veterans. There's so many veterans in general that don't know of the resources that we have out there. And we have so many new and upcoming resources for women veterans, and there's a lot of women veterans that don't know what's
Many
available
organizations
to them
here
that provide referrals for MST, PTSD, therapy, counseling. We have organizations here that provide groups or support groups for women to come together and just have a sense of community with each other. They do anything from tea parties to baby showers and just show their appreciation and their love on women. They also provide different resources for them. Also, here we had some organizations such as the commissary donate different items to us, including diapers, diaper rash cream, deodorant, any of the basic essential needs for women. Also, some things to help them feel pampered, like lashes, smelling good lotion, just to let them know that we appreciate them.
And as a veteran, if there was one piece of advice that you could give to other women that may be in,
Hmm.
that may be joining, just starting out,
Yeah.
what would you advise them?
I advise don't let anyone come in and tear you down or steal your shine. No matter what's going on, no matter who it is, always stand up for yourself and always be that voice for yourself and for other women. Strive for excellence and never quit.
Hi, my name is Maurice Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Always Ready of Southern California, better known as Always Ready. I'm a 20-year Navy veteran who served as a chief IT, and now with our organization Always Ready, we're giving back to the community. And so, with that being said, we're part of Operation Impact, where we're giving back to the American Legion during this great event for women veterans.
And we're here in Newport, California at the American Legion Post 291 for the Women's Veterans event. And we're here supporting the women veterans, all their sacrifices, and everything that they've managed to balance. Because some people don't realize that, okay, we have women in the military, but these women are also still mothers, they're still daughters, they're
Yep.
everything, they're wives. And your organization is here to support. So could you tell us about your organization and what you all do?
Okay, so what we do is Always Ready is what we do is bridge the gap for veterans, justice impacted, and homeless individuals with workforce development. And then another thing that we do, we also bridge the gap to for employers with regards to economic strategies and monitorizing hiring these individuals. So what we do is teach self development, peer-to-peer mentoring, and the overall goal is to become self-sufficient.
And with that, you all are able to impact a lot of veterans with giving them opportunities and access. That's one of the things that a lot of veterans, not say that they don't know about, but they might not have the access to do that. How are you all able to impact veterans and connect with them and get them in connection with these opportunities?
So how we do that, one of the things we do it organically, and that's through relationship building. It's also through our different networks that we are part of, and just overall collaboration. It could just be as one of the things of us knowing somebody who may be in need of that veteran for a hire, who would rather have a veteran or prefer a veteran, to the employer needing the resources to bring them on board. So what we do is we bridge the gap in many ways, and we do it uh, organically, as I said before, with the niches that we have with regards to our collaborations and viable networks.
And how has your experience being in the military impacted how you connect with people, specifically yourself?
So how it happened for me is to get out from behind the eight ball, to go to these different networking events, to attend events such as this at the American Legion under the umbrella of the Operation Impact Tour, to introduce myself to those who I probably wouldn't do it before. But I will tell you, through my military experience, I realized that every one of us have a need, and no one's going to know your need unless you make it known. And then it's also about relationship building, and there's trust in who you are, and the skills and transferable items that you brought with you from the military, such as being on time, your work habits, and things of that nature.
And how can people connect and find you all?
Okay, so we are on the World Wide Web, and you can find us at HTTPS. It's different. $4 cent, 4 cent, and it's our name all together. It's always ready. SD.org.
Hi, my name is Mark Rodriguez. I'm the CEO of the Warrior Life Academy. I'm also known as the lung transplant stonemason. I'm the only stonemason in the history of the world to ever do stonemasonry after 2 double lung transplants. Yeah, you heard that right. In 2020, I returned back to stonework. And in 2023, I started traveling the country and talking about my story and delivering a message of resilience and perseverance and loving yourself enough to where quitting is not an option when it comes to fighting for your life. And when you give it all to God, anything's possible. I'm living proof of that.
Today we are here in Newport Beach, California at the American Legion 291 at the Women and Veterans event. And it's a celebration of women veterans and everything that they've done, sacrifices that they've made to ensure freedom for everybody in the United States. And your story, you had 2 lung transplants. Could you tell us what led to you having to have the 2 lung transplants?
Well, many years of not operating in safety, but operating in ignorant machismo led me to attaining a lung disease called silicosis fibrosis. But that was not where my downfall began. Where my downfall began was when I came up with Superman disease. You know, that's the one where we think we're invincible and nothing can hurt us. But we find out very quickly when the doctor walks into your hospital room and says, Mark, you're dying, like, boom, you're cured instantly. And you realize that Superman's a comic book character and, you know, that you're a real person and real things affect you. And when you don't take care of your health, it affects you. But not just you, those around you, your loved ones, your family, your chosen family, and all your friends. And so when you choose I over we, you can very easily get illness over wellness. And I travel the country now speaking about this, about ceasing the operation of self-sabotage, silencing the negatives, and starving your fears and doubts. And eliminate the usage of the tools of the weak, which are blaming others, making excuses, complaining, and wallowing in self-pity. If you use those, the only thing you accomplish is weakening yourself. And in a world that is ever changing, if you're not willing to be a constant work in progress, you will fall through the cracks. You will become a statistic. You will become a number. And eventually you will become invisible. When we put more attention on taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves, then whatever version of that we extend to others, it's the best possible version that we can offer. Because we fully understand that if we don't know how to love ourselves, how can we give somebody else our best version of love? And we need to stop handing out that watered down Kool-Aid version of our love and really begin to love ourselves in order to properly love the ones that we refer to as our loved ones.
What is the most important reason that everybody is here today in your eyes?
Well, we're here to honor these women that have made some great sacrifices. And many of them were still sacrificing. I've been a warrior of another kind. I don't know what it's like to be in service with the military, but I do know what it's like to fight, and I do know what it's like to be in a situation where it seems unwinnable sometimes or too big. And I have been in situations where the only thing I had to fall back on was whether I believed in myself or not, because believing that you can do something. If you can do that, and you get it here and here, you've won more than half the battle, because the actual physical act of it is just the body following in obedience. So that can't be the hardest part. And we say in life, I believe in myself, but then we turn around and operate in self-sabotage. Those two things don't go together. It's much like a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich, right? Those two things will never go together. And that's nasty, right? Just even think about it, it's nasty. But you know what's more nasty? It's more awful than that, is beating ourselves up with our own thoughts and our own words. The Warrior Life Academy was born because when I was in the fight for my life, I had to rid my life of a lot of things that were consuming my energy at a point in my life where I needed every ounce of it that I could get. And so I went into the laboratory as a scientist, but also as the guinea pig. And everything I talk about, everything I teach, are things that I've gone through, are things that I've come out of. I don't talk about things I don't know about. I don't talk about things I haven't experienced. But what I have experienced is many years operating in self-sabotage, beating myself up, hitting my head against the wall and expecting the wall to fall, but only later to find out that my head was just getting softer. Being a stonemason, you have to be very tough. But I found that just because I survived things, it didn't mean I was okay. It just meant I was tough. To be okay, you have to heal from. And so I developed this program that centers around accountability. Like, how did we get here? And when we hold ourselves accountable for that, then we can begin to heal. And healing is super necessary. Even though it hurts, even though it's painful, even though it's not fun, if you don't heal, you're stuck in the mud. You can't move forward. And life does not have a reverse gear. So you're stuck until you heal. And then that growth takes place. Well, when you heal and that growth takes place, then God can elevate you. When he elevates you, then he can use you. You can go to my website, thelungtransplantStonemason.com. There I have my info, my email, and my telephone, and you can reach out to me. I make myself available.